Hey, if you're gearing up for the IGCSE English as a Second Language exam, you know that every single mark counts. Today, we're going to break down Exercise 1. By the end of this, you'll have a killer strategy to make sure you grab every last one of those crucial first marks. So let's dive in.
Let's be real. Does that first reading exercise sometimes feel a little tricky? Maybe you've lost a mark here or there and you weren't quite sure why? Well, you are definitely not alone. It's designed to test your precision, but the good news is it's a system you can absolutely learn to beat.
And this is why it's such a big deal. It's worth 8 marks. Now, I know that might not sound like a ton, but these are some of the most straightforward marks you can get on the entire paper if you know the rules. Think of them as a foundation for your final grade. You can't afford to lose them.
So, what are we really up against here? Well, Exercise 1 gives you a short, factual text. It's usually about 400 to 450 words, and then asks you 6 questions about it. The topic could be anything, really, from an athlete to an environmental report. The challenge isn't the text itself. It's all about the precision of your answers.
Okay, so how do we conquer this challenge? It all starts with knowing the rules of the game. These are the absolute non-negotiables. Honestly, ignoring them is the #1 reason students drop marks. Understanding these is your first step to a perfect score on this section. There are 3 golden rules you absolutely have to remember. First, short answers only, no full sentences. Second, you can and you absolutely should lift your answers directly from the text. They actually want you to do this. And third, and this one's a biggie, spelling has to be perfect. One wrong letter and you lose the mark. Simple as that.
Let's see this in action, right? If the question is, what type of text was it? The answer on the left, an environmental report, ding, 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 you get the mark. But that full sentence on the right with all that extra information? Nope, that's an incorrect answer. You've got to be brief and precise.
You know, this mistake is so common, it actually has a name, the long lift. It's so tempting to just copy that whole sentence where you found the answer, isn't it? But all that extra stuff can actually cancel out your correct answer. You have to be like a surgeon and just isolate the exact detail the question is asking for.
Think of this slide as your treasure map for the answers. For the first 5 questions, it's super straightforward. The answers appear in order in the text, so the answer to question 2 will always be after the answer to question 1. But question 6, that's the tricky one. For those 3 marks, the answers are scattered all over the text, so you're going to have to do a little hunting for them.
Okay, we know the rules, we know the layout, now it's time for the game plan. I'm going to give you a simple, repeatable strategy that is pretty much foolproof. It'll help you find every single answer without wasting precious exam time.
And here it is, your 4-step game plan. This isn't about reading faster, you know? It's about reading smarter. Follow these steps in this order, and I promise it'll completely change how you approach this task.
All right, let's break this down. Step 1 is the absolute game changer. Read question 6 before you even read the text. Why? Because those 3 answers are scattered everywhere, so this way you'll be actively looking for them from the very first sentence. Step 2 for questions 1 through 5, just look at the question word. Who, what, when. This tells you exactly what kind of information to scan for. Step 3 is the locate and lift. Find the phrase, check your spelling, and write it down. And finally, for question 6, use bullet points. It keeps you organized and makes it crystal clear for the exam.
Look, having a great strategy is awesome, but it's just as important to know the common traps. These are the simple little mistakes that can steal those easy marks right from under your nose. Being aware of them is half the battle.
So we've already talked about the long lift and those sneaky spelling slips. Those are the big 2. Another one to watch out for is missing the adjective. If a question asks for an original name and you provide the current one, you've missed a key detail. Precision is everything. And finally, ignoring question 6 until the end is just, well, it's a bad idea. It forces you to reread the entire text, and that's just a waste of valuable time.
And I want to leave you with this one last pro tip, and it's a really good one. Don't rely on your memory for spelling, not even for a simple word. You are allowed to copy. So treat the text like it's your own personal dictionary. Keep your eyes on the word in the passage, then look at your answer sheet as you write it. It basically guarantees accuracy.
So there you have it, the rules, the strategy, and the pitfalls to avoid. With this game plan, those 8 marks aren't just possible, they're yours for the taking. Go into that exam with confidence and claim every single mark.